What is up, DTube Steem blockchain? So today I want to do a video pretty quick, just saying why Hive is Steem, but that it is a bad rebrand of Steem with same horrible governance. And then I want to cover this guy that I would say is basically caught lying. He is called netuoso on Hive, and I want to show you what he said on the Hive blockchain. Or basically, he said here, so netuoso here on the Hive blockchain. Well, first he quoted this thing that Hive is Hive, Steem is Steem. I think he's unable to grasp this relative simple concept. Okay, so let's see here if he is correct. So you're saying this thing, Hive is Hive, Steem is Steem, but let's investigate a little bit, shall we? So is Hive using any new code? No, they're not. They're using the Steem code under a rebrand that they're labeling Hive. So it's not really accurate to say, oh, Hive is Hive and Steem is Steem, because what you're trying to imply here is that, I mean, basically you're saying that they're using something different, that they're using different codes or something like that. Well, it's just a copy. It's just a copy and paste of the original Steem code. And here's a funny thing. So if I go to Hive, let's see here. Yeah, let's go to Hive here pretty quick. And let's do this thing. Let's right click, go to view page source. Okay. And sorry if the focus is not working that great. And let's search for Steem. Let's search for Steem. Okay. So if I search for Steem, it says 51 found. So in the code base, if you view page source on Hive blog, Steem shows up everywhere. So let's see here. Oh yeah, here we go. So down here you can see it says Steem everywhere. But for some reason, netuoso is saying, or he's not really saying it. I mean, he's kind of quoting it, but he's kind of agreeing with it. He's basically agreeing with the lie. But here you can see, man, it says Steem everywhere. Why? What I want to know is like, if Hive is Hive and Steem is Steem, why is it saying on the Hive blog, if you view page source, why is it saying Steem everywhere? I mean, you just agreed, you agreed that Hive is Hive and Steem is Steem. But if you study things, you see that no, you're actually using Steem because you're using that source code. But yes, you're using a rebrand. Okay, you have rebranded it. You put another label on Steem. You put another label on Steem code, but it's still Steem. It's the same as Dogecoin. I mean, they're using the Bitcoin code. Or I think it's a little bit more complex than that. First, there was a fork, I think, of Bitcoin made into Litecoin, and then I think they kind of forked it off into a fork of Dogecoin. But it's still basically Bitcoin code. So it's a little bit misleading here from netuoso to say that you're using something brand new. No, you're still using the Steem. You're still using the Steem code. You're pretending you're using something brand new. But why, if you're using something brand new, why do I see these things where you kind of, or some developer, some guy, they basically copied both Steem Connect and rebranded it into Hive Signer using the same code? And why am I seeing people kind of copy and paste other developers' work like Steem World, which is a guy that still is mainly using Steem, and you basically copy that code and you rebranded it to some Beam thing? I mean, it's still Steem. You can pretend it's something else. No, you're still using Steem. No original code, no original anything. It's just copy and paste with even worse governance because now you centralize it further. So the old Steem witnesses that are now calling themselves Hive witnesses, they both removed Steem Inc.'s coins. So and then they also removed a bunch of honest Steemians, like the Koreans. They basically removed them because they didn't like how they voted on witnesses. So you can have any opinions about how they voted on the witnesses, but you still kind of fork them out, which is like, okay, you started to remove people's coins, which is kind of shady. So it's like this weird. People try to say that Hive is this brand new thing. It's not. It has the same horrible governance that governed Steem for 4 years and failed completely to bring any mainstream adoption or anything, or even they failed completely even to empower content creators. They a lot of them were focused on running like bots and stuff like that kind of no longer exists anymore. And now on the Hive blockchain, they are basically like just they're running this proposal thing to abuse it further. So they have these vanity proposals. Oh, can I get 500 Hive-based dollars per day because I talked to some centralized corrupt exchanges and we made a listing there. So the funny thing about Hive is they're even working with Huobi and Binance that did the Steem hostile takeover. So they're working with the corrupt exchanges and they're pretending they are so amazing people. But if they're so amazing people, why are you working with the corrupt exchanges that just did a hostile takeover on the old chain? Oh, you're now magically friends with these guys? Like, that's kind of shady, man. That's kind of shady. So it's just so many lies. Um, and here there's another comment here from Oso. So okay. I'm gonna read this one because it's kind of interesting. So he say it's literally not stolen. We created a new blockchain, new token, got new listing. Okay, no one owned anything before Hive, and they sure hell weren't entitled to it. If the tokens weren't airdrop or stolen, then the Steem stake you used for years was stolen from the community, regardless of its Steem Inc. delegated it or not. It was stolen according to your definition. First, I think this is a very weird thing he said here. He tries to make a comparison of how they kind of removed. So Hive removed a bunch of guys' coins when they kind of copy and pasted the Steem blockchain. They decided to consciously remove a bunch of Steemians' coins, and he tries to compare that to then the Steem stake you used for years was stolen from the community. He tries to make a comparison to the stake that Steem or that DTube got, the 2 million Steem that they got from Ned, that they actually used in a fair way to upvote real content creators what Steem was designed for. He tries to make a comparison and say that that is so the Steem stake that was used in a fair way from DTube, he tries to make a comparison and say that that is the same, that is also stolen, which is very weird because DTube actually used the stake how it was supposed to be used to empower content creators. Well, with this new kind of fork here, it's basically used Steem. So I'm in danger said here in basically this thing that yeah, I mean not. So he said, I quote, it's not a new blockchain, it's using the exact same graphene and continuous Steem after 42 million blocks. So this is very important to, sorry. So this is very important to understand here that, so the Hive, so they're trying to say that the Hive blockchain is anything new, but it continues on the blocks from the Steem blockchain. So I quote here, continuing, it's a fork that is ran by same witnesses that for 3.5 years before on Steem, Hive is worth more and most of the community migrated. We can consider Hive as the winning fork and the real Steem. Changing the name and the logo doesn't make it new. This is very key. Like changing the name and logo doesn't make it anything new. It is a rebranding. Real winner of these tokens was and the real owner of these tokens was Steem Inc. and you're not the community, so stop saying the community. You don't talk for everyone. You're just a piece of shit developer who found a way to get money by doing nothing for next year until price crashes so much even your 10% SPS plus witness node won't be able to pay your rent. So I've talked a little bit about this, that when I saw on block trades, like when I did the math, how much you would lose if you converted your Steem to these Hive coins, my math came up to 96% loss. First, it was 50% network loss, and then in fiat value, it was like it probably is going to go to 96% loss. And I think it would go to around 3% of a Steem or something like that. Netuoso made a reply here. Let's see. So basically, the reply here pretty quick. So and they still own those tokens on Steem, where they own them, those tokens on Steem. Did I say enough? So it's kind of funny here. Like his reply is like super short, and you can hear that he just want to like end this conversation pretty fast because he kind of knows probably that he's talking to someone that's more intelligent. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't like seeing people lying and like trying to pretend that Hive is something super new or that is amazing because it's very weird, even for the people, even for the Hive community, the ones that are very, very passionate. It's a very unfortunate situation what has happened with Steem and Hive because right now, none of those platforms are really anything good. Basically, what the Hive community should do, like the real Hive community, they should try to find another blockchain where they can start fair and where they kind of can start from a point where they, as content creators, can become whales in that network. You can never become whale in the Hive network. They don't even have any female whales ever. I think the biggest female whales on the Hive network has like maybe 30k Hive out of 350 million coins, or is it like 280 million coins, something like that. I mean, you're never going to have any female whales in the Hive ecosystem. And you as a regular content creator, you're never going to be able to become a whale. And you don't even have any backbone left on Hive. You don't have any like super honest guys left. It seems to be mainly just corrupt people that have found a way to leech on the Hive ecosystem, and they want to like leech it to there's not a single drop left. So I don't think it's going to change at all, to be honest. So it's like I just don't like seeing people spreading lies on Twitter, especially on Twitter. Like, there's so many people that want to be super passionate about Hive and they believe that they can push this to the mainstream. But the problem is, sure, the Hive community can be great, but as long as the leadership and the centralized governance is like pure horror, and as long as they did those horrible things, removing a bunch of people's coins, and they're pretending they're doing something new, even though it actually is a continuation on the Steem blockchain, as long as they have that track record, like if they would change their mind and like apologize a little bit and maybe give those people's coins back. And maybe if they would use their Steem DAO actually to empower a real content creator and become way more honest, maybe Hive would have an amazing future. But I don't see that happening at the moment. I mean, I don't see it happening at all. So be aware of that it's just a rebrand of Steem. But I would say that most of the amazing people that was on Steem 2018, they're kind of sort of starting to eject and sort of starting to move away from Hive, and they don't even want to invest any new money into the Hive thing, and many of them are basically powering down. So it really is just this phase, I think, right now where people are just like waiting for some kind of new chain or something that is just having a better distribution. And I want people to do their own like value judgment on that and try to make up their own mind of what actually looks like something good for content creators. But it seems like the DPoS systems just have so much drama these days, and Maybe I think it's mainly because how DPoS chains are kind of designed that it's not so mainstream friendly. And this is something that we've been knowing with the Steem blockchain, how kind of it's like very, very complex. And this is probably like something that gets like mainstream scale and adoption is probably going to be something that's way easier to use and not as complex and strange. Like one of the problems, I think, one of the main problems with Steem and Hive, I think it is this blogging aspect that most people are not even bloggers. So trying to get like mainstream scale with like bloggers, blog format and kind of like comment format, it seems like it kind of has failed in many ways. So that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. Yeah, have a great day, YouTube and Steem blockchain. Bye bye.